This one is called the too many acronyms writing trap. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's when the writer uses too many acronyms and abbreviations in an attempt to consolidate and squeeze in as much information as possible into one line on the report. This usually happens because in reality, the accomplishment should be written out over more than one line. What happens is that they start making up acronyms and abbreviations. I've literally seen where the authors would just, if there was a word with 6, 8, 10 letters in it, they would just delete a couple letters out of there and call it an abbreviation. Anything to just squeeze it to fit on the end of the margin. I have to admit, I'm guilty. I did this with the best of them for a number of years to squeeze all that information in there. I'm caught up in this trap that I got to put all this information in there. Well, looking at it from the other point of view, somebody has to want to read all that information. And if we take a quick look at one, I'm not going to spend all day on it. I think I already explained it, but you can look here and I'll just read it to you. It's the C5B SME TS elusive slat WU RTD R2D 7B actuator under 2 HRS OT real world MSN. In English, because I know what this is, it's a C5B aircraft subject matter expert. The individual troubleshot the elusive slat write-up. Remove and replaced the 7B slat actuator in under 2 hours. The on-time real-world mission. It's not very good. Looking at it from the other point of view, somebody has to want to read all that information. On the outside of the Air Force, I can tell you this, if you send a resume to an HR recruiter that looks like that, it will not be read. They are going to toss it aside and look at the other qualified candidates, the ones that put their information in a manner that's logical and digestible, and not a daunting task. How about from a recognition point of view? I've sat on boards later in my career where the recognition package had 30 lines on it for an annual award, 12 lines on it for a quarterly award, and there were more abbreviations and acronyms in the attached list than there were lines on the award itself. How large of a distraction is that when I'm trying to read this report or this award and I've got to go back and forth to an acronym list to try and decipher what you're saying? That's not a winning formula. It's not a winning formula for awards. It's not a winning formula for your resumes. For your performance reports, let's look at it from the eye of the promotion board. A promotion board has as much time as they like to review a selection folder, but history tells us they're going to go through about 300 records a day. And if you do the math, you're going to find that that's about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per record. That's 10 years worth of performance reports, which means at least 10, possibly or even probably more. The other documentation, citations, and the personnel data, 20 pieces of paper, and you want them in 1.5 minutes to dissect and relate back and forth what the meaning of your acronyms and abbreviations means? Good luck. That's not a formula for success. This is a huge distraction. If I haven't painted this loud and clear, what I'm trying to say is avoid the too many acronyms writing trap.